This is the WrestleBread Podcast, bringing you the latest news, recaps, and analysis of AEW and WWE. Get the unique perspective from a wrestling fan of over 25 years. Here's your host, Jaydee.
What's going on, guys? This is Jaydee, and this is episode 139 of the WrestleBread Podcast. So we had the Super Bowl this past weekend. Congrats to the Los Angeles Rams. I was about to say St. Louis, but no, it is LA Rams. And I feel a little special because when I first got into football, I had no idea what was going on. Like, I really couldn't talk about football like I can today. And so I felt as though it was like free reign to choose whatever team you were rooting for. So I actually chose the St. Louis Rams at that time because I'm an Aries. They're the Rams. So I was like, no big deal, And I learned the lesson that you really got to pick who it is you really want to cheer for, because once you pick a team to cheer for, like, that's your team through thick and thin. And so I was basically a Kurt Warner fan. And so when Kurt Warner had pretty much I think he was traded to the Cardinals or no, I think he went to the Giants after the Rams, and then he went to the Cardinals. And so I was kind of stuck with the team, and I think it was Mark Bulger who was the quarterback after him. And so I was like, I don't think I'm going to do this anymore. And so long story short, that's when I became a Dallas Cowboys fan. But I was still very excited for this Super Bowl, just because it wasn't the usual Tom Brady. We had the LA Rams coming back to try to get a title since, the last time they appeared in the Super Bowl. No, they appeared in Super Bowl with New England, but the last time they won the Super Bowl, I should say, was a very long time. And in Cincinnati with Joe Cool, who, he's sitting here changing lives and whatnot. Them, coming after their first Super Bowl win, I believe it is, for Cincinnati. And so, yeah, I was definitely into this game. The commercials weren't really that exciting. There were a few commercials that was pretty good, but normally, Super Bowl commercials used to be it. Like, you have to get whatever food you need and everything, before the Super Bowl starts, because you couldn't really get up during the commercials because commercials were so good. But this year it wasn't really that good. Like, it was a lot of car commercials. It was a lot of, crypto and a lot of celebrity appearances and stuff. It wasn't really thing like super spectacular that made me go, wow, that's a Super Bowl commercial right there. But the halftime show, oh my gosh, a lot of us showed our age. It's been a while since I was standing up during a halftime show, just dancing and crip walking and just really showing my age. It's people out there who have no idea who Dr. Dre is, probably know who Snoop Dogg is, of course, probably know who Eminem is, but have no idea who Mary J. Blige is and stuff. And I'm okay with that now. I'm accepting the fact that I am at that stage of my life where, me getting up and dancing during a halftime show can be seen as uncool now. So, but that halftime show was so good. I need that to be a concert. Kendrick Lamar killed it. That was my favorite part of the halftime show. And just the stage set was really good. Like, that really felt like a Super Bowl halftime. My all-time favorite, I would have to say, is between Prince and Michael Jackson. Even though I think Michael Jackson wasn't the only person performing. I think he performed the halftime with someone else. So it might go to Prince. I mean, I remember watching that halftime live, and it was raining during the halftime show while he was singing Purple Rain. I mean, you really can't get any better than that. But yeah, the Super Bowl this year, the game was fine. I was fine with the game. Commercials really weren't that good, but that halftime show was amazing. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do next year. I don't know how you're going to top that halftime show, but I would like for them to try. Also, during the halftime show. We saw some trailers for some Marvel movies that's coming out. And Marvel, can you guys tell me what are you guys doing? Like, why are you trying to cause heart attacks around here? I can't wait for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. They teased what I think is a cameo. I heard a voice and I saw a beautiful shiny ball head, and I can't wait to see what comes next of this. I'm typically a DC girl, but Marvel has just been killing it in the movies. Like, mad respect to them. The amount of like planning and everything to weave all of these movies into one continuous storyline, that is a lot of cooperation from a lot of people. I mean, we had only one Iron Man, one Captain America, one Black Widow, one Hawkeye. If you only count in the MCU, one Hulk, and yet we had about six Batmans, about four Jokers, about three or four Supermans. It's just crazy. And Marvel has definitely sucked me into the fandom. I don't read the comics like that, and so outside of the Avengers, I really had like no idea who any of the other superheroes are, and Marvel has done such a fantastic job of, introducing different characters to you and getting you to care about them. Really. So, you know, kudos to Marvel, kudos to Disney, with these shows and everything like that. They are just sucking all of the money out of our pockets. And it's just really cool to be a nerd right now. I can't wait for the Batman movie to come out March 4th. I'm even going to see Uncharted. I'm going to give it a chance. I am. And then if I don't like it, then I'm going to definitely let it be known. And then we have all the Marvel movies coming out. We have the new Jurassic World coming out, which I can't wait to see that. A lot of nostalgia in that movie, so I can't wait for that. It's just going to be an awesome year, to get back to the movies and get back to, God willing, if everything is good with the pandemic, but just get back to just enjoying entertainment right now. And now, speaking of entertainment, we have this week NXT Vengeance Day. We have the Elimination Chamber this upcoming weekend. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Valentine's Day to everyone. I personally don't celebrate it. I haven't celebrated it in a long, long time. Not because I'm single or anything. It's because, flowers and candy and all that stuff is just special on February 15th than it is on the 14th. I mean, chocolate goes on sale tomorrow anyway, and I will be taking advantage of it. But if you do celebrate it, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Single Awareness Day as well. I normally use this time to, concentrate on self-care, self-love, and stuff like that. So, shout out to everyone. Take care of yourself mentally and physically and spiritually and everything. It's been a very long pandemic. And I hope if you're going through something that you will make it through. So, with that being said, let's get into some rumors with wrestling. First of all, this isn't exactly a rumor. This is just something that a lot of people loves to talk about on Twitter. Because the most biggest things whenever someone gets released from one company, then you turn around and say, are they going to the other company? So apparently, Shane McMahon has been let go from WWE. I was trying to find out more information about it. It seems like it's legit. Like, they let him go. He was supposed to be at WrestleMania. He wanted to go against, I believe it was Seth Rollins, but they decided not to. But he wanted to book the Royal Rumble around himself. He wanted to come out as number one, if I read correctly. And him and Brock Lesnar both wanted to get what they wanted. Brock Lesnar, of course, won. And then Shane McMahon was let go quietly from the company. And so all of the Twitter people, in the Twitter world started to say Shane to AEW confirmed, or what if Shane is all elite and Shane McMahon should go to AEW and this, that, and the third. And I'm saying no. Shane McMahon should go nowhere near AEW. If Tony Khan is to even look at Shane McMahon's phone number, email address, Twitter handle, Instagram, DMs, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, it would be the dumbest business decision Tony Khan has ever made. If Tony Khan is to do anything with Shane McMahon, it will be the worst business decision he has ever made. The only Shane that Tony Khan should be talking to, actually, there's multiple Shanes he could talk to. He could talk to Shane Strickland. He could talk to Shane Thorne. Hell, he could talk to Shane Douglas or Gregory Shane Helms. So talk to those Shanes. Don't talk about Shane McMahon. Don't get it twisted. Just because Vince fired his own son doesn't mean he's not Vince McMahon or that his son isn't still a McMahon. You don't going to sit here and tell me that if Shane McMahon was to somehow, and Tony Khan was to somehow agree for Shane McMahon to work with him and AEW, that Vince McMahon won't call up Shane McMahon and get some information about what's going on over there. Come on. Okay, we're talking about Vince McMahon, the guy who publicly says he loves to let people go, but has told someone who has publicly want their release, we're not going to release you. We see value in you. We're not going to use you, and we're not going to use you the way you want to be used, but we see value in you, and you sit in catering. The same guy who has booked himself into storylines with female talent, with affairs and stuff like that. The same guy who adds time to people's contracts. The same guy who's going to Saudi this Saturday and has booked a 10-year deal with Saudi Arabia despite all the crap that goes on over there. You're going to tell me that guy is going to be okay with his son, working with the rival company and not going to use his status as his father to his advantage? No, I don't believe that at all. Like I said, there's people that Tony Khan should talk to and hire and everything for AEW, and there's people that he shouldn't talk to at all. And one of those people he shouldn't talk to at all is Shane McMahon. Sorry to bust people's bubbles, but this isn't WCW. And speaking of people who are stuck in their contracts, Ali has said that he will see everyone in 2.5 years, meaning that's how much time he has left on his contract. And I guess the fact that he hasn't been released and that allegedly WWE is saying that they see value in him, that there's no more budget cuts. Because if they turn around and do budget cuts on people, with people who really want to stay with the company and not cut the budget of the person who publicly has said that they want to leave, that is pettiness to the 3rd degree. Okay, and I've seen a lot of pettiness, and that would be very petty. Also with WWE, oh yeah. The other rumor per PW Insider is that Vince McMahon doesn't think there's any issues with WWE in his creative process. And this kind of like goes with the other rumor that a lot of WWE talent is that the morale backstage is very low, which I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at that at all. I don't think, I'm pretty sure the morale has been low for a very, very long time. I'm sure it's gotten lower because of the budget cuts and everything. Like, there is no guarantee that you will have your job. And, with Vince saying that he don't think there's any issues with WWE or its creative process, well, of course. They're making profits, okay? They're making record-breaking profits. So I highly doubt that Vince McMahon is going to sit here and say, oh, no, we need to fix something. No. Vince is like, no, we good. We good. I probably should be on TV a little more. Maybe I should be a little more involved in the creative process. But yeah, of course, it's going to be said that he doesn't think there's any issues with WWE. Okay, according to him, there hasn't been issues with WWE for the longest of times. Like, let's all remember that fateful day, that fateful Raw, actually, when all four McMahons came. Well, not all four McMahons. Them three McMahons and a Helmsley comes out and says that we're the authority and we're in charge, and the show is going to be booked according to us, and how the third hour of Raw was, different. It's going to be for the fans and all this and other that and the third. And yeah, we see where that went. Okay, so no. Of course, there's nothing wrong with WWE. According to Vince McMahon, everything is straight up good. In fact, WWE has also mentioned, and if you had watched Raw this week, you would hear the term WWE continues to influence the world. So, of course, with WWE heading to Saudi Arabia for Elimination Chamber, it comes the annual time of when everyone starts to criticize WWE for going over to Saudi Arabia. Of course, they really don't give a shit, but they're trying to spin it for PR service reasons into saying that they're doing this to change the world. To this time around, they have convinced the government to put up a billboard, and on the billboard was the advertisement for the match between Becky Lynch and Lita. So Stephanie McMahon apparently sent out an email to people saying, "Good evening, I'm proud to share yet another milestone in what we call the women's evolution. Today in Saudi Arabia, the first ever billboards featuring female WWE superstars, Becky Lynch and Hall of Famer Lita, were unveiled ahead of next Saturday's Elimination Chamber premium live event at a Jeddah Superdome." I keep calling these events pay-per-view events, but apparently they're premium live events. I'm still going to call them pay-per-view events, but anyway. From the hashtag that started in 2015 to the main events of WrestleMania, the first ever women's match in Abu Dhabi in 2017, I probably said that wrong, but okay, where men and women chanted, "This is hope," where men and women chanted, "This is hope," I think that was cut off. The women's first match in Saudi Arabia in 2019, where the chant was simply, "This is awesome." And now, to have our female superstars proudly displayed on landmarks for millions of Saudi Arabia to see is remarkable. Thank you to our partners in the kingdom and to all of you for supporting WWE and help drive such meaningful impact around the world. Stephanie McMahon. And so then every single talent that they could went out and tweeted out the same 6 words: WWE continues to influence the world. WWE continues to influence the world. WWE continues to influence the world. Like, very original. I guess, great minds think alike, that they all got on Twitter around the same time and decided to tweet out WWE continues to influence the world. Look, and I get it. You want to spin it. That's kind of what companies do, but don't get it twisted. Just because there's a damn billboard in Saudi doesn't mean that there's going to be any type of changes. Okay, now the billboard, that's cool. That's cool for us. Okay, that was a step for the Americans. You want to make change for the women's revolution? I dare WWE to recruit a woman born and raised in Saudi Arabia and make her a WWE superstar. You want to impress me with this whole change and all other stuff? Like, I already know what it is. This is all about the money. They're not trying to, influence the world or anything. If they really want to influence the world, then they should definitely push for, and I'm not trying to get political, but they should definitely push for more freedoms with the Saudi women. And I know that, there's a cultural thing and there is a religious thing, but yeah, some things I just don't agree. Some things I don't agree with. That just doesn't make any sense. I can see if, religious status that, there are traditions, but there are traditions and then there is just straight up, unacceptable type shit. Well, great news if those with WWE trying to influence the world. Saudi women, as of June of 2021, are now allowed to live alone without permission from a male guardian. So, congrats to them and to the WWE for continuing to influence the world. That, while, Saudi women are barely able to be independent, at least they get to see the fucking billboard of American women who have all the freedom in the world to do whatever job they want. They can wrestle, they can wear whatever they want, they can say whatever they want under WWE's guidelines, of course. And, the women of Saudi just have to hope that maybe in the next 50 years, they can at least, I don't know, marry without permission. So that is my little rant. If you're offended by it, those opinions are mine. And yeah, don't, my thing is just like, I get it. I get the PR stuff. You're trying to swing this, that you're not doing this to get your money from that government. But don't try to spin it that you're doing this to change the lives of women in that country when, the like 2 steps have been made. That's like a 30-year-old man who refuses to walk. He could walk if he wants to, but just refuses to walk because he don't want to. And then at 30 years old, he decides to take a step. And then the whole all family and friends go, "Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Look what happened. Yeah. And it's like, dude, this is a 30-year-old guy who should be walking and running like everyone else. Why are we applauding something so small that really shouldn't be, really isn't a big of a deal, but something that should have been done and corrected a long time ago?" That's how I feel. So going into AEW rumors after my rant of WWE. And I know you're going to be like, well, Jaydee, if you feel this way about WWE and Saudi, then won't you not watch the Elimination Chamber? Cause my ass is not going to change the ways of WWE. Look, I've been watching WWE for a very long time. A lot of shit that they have been doing for a very long time. Okay, Vince McMahon wasn't the sweetest of person. He didn't suddenly become out of touch and became an asshole overnight. This has been years in the making. I have watched Shawn Michaels lose his smile, quote unquote. I have watched Bret Hart get screwed out. Plenty of wrestlers get screwed out of things. I've seen wrestlers who were really good, and fans loved, that was just not booked properly, was not on TV, and was just not given their chance, their due. I've seen wrestlers who don't deserve TV time or don't deserve really a lot of title shots get all the title shots in the world, get all the TV time, the best, the best storylines, stuff like that, where people who bust their ass get put to the back of the line. I have watched that old man, tongue down women, and quite frankly, probably put them in a very awkward situation where they get told, yeah, your storyline is with, Vince McMahon. And so me by myself not watching WWE, it's not going to change anything. First of all, WWE don't even consider themselves a wrestling show. If you were to go to WWE.com and read the about section, the word wrestling doesn't even appear in their bio. They don't even say World Wrestling Entertainment. I mean, I'm very sure about that. They just say WWE. They don't look to themselves as a wrestling company. They look to themselves as this media mogul, that is all about production and stuff like that. Like they're not looking to put on the best wrestling show. They are looking to do entertainment. Actually, yeah, no, they don't spell out WWE. They don't say World Wrestling Entertainment. They just say WWE. And I'll read it to you because I have it right here. WWE, a publicly traded company, is an integrated media organization and recognized leader in global entertainment. The company consists of a portfolio of businesses that create and deliver original content 52 weeks a year to a global audience. WWE is committed to a family-friendly entertainment on its television programming, premium live events, digital media, and publishing platforms. WWE's TV PG programming can be seen in more than 1 billion homes worldwide in 30 languages through world-class distribution partners including NBC Universal, Fox Sports, BT, blah, 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 blah. The award-winning WWE Network includes all premium live events, scheduled programming, and a massive video-on-demand library, and is currently available in more than 180 countries. In the United States, NBC Universal streaming service Peacock is the exclusive home to WWE Network. The word wrestling is not in that at all. Like people probably don't even know what WWE stands for. And so yeah, I like wrestling. I love wrestling. And I've come to like sports entertainment. I come to deal with it, I guess I should say. The moment that it turned to a publicly traded company was the day that it switched to entertainment and not wrestling. So I'm going to continue to watch it because I don't know, it's like a toxic relationship that you're in where it's though like I can go without watching wrestling, but I can't really go too long without watching wrestling. Like like something will happen that'll make you fall in love with it again. That'll make you keep watching it and stuff like that. But I like it. I like it. There's a lot of things that I don't like about it, but there's a lot of things that I do like about it. That makes sense. So I probably sound very crazy after ranting about them on Saudi and ranting about, their treatment and stuff like that. But I'm gonna continue watching it because the wheel's gonna keep turning. WWE, unless WWE gets sold to Disney and Disney turns it into something else, that company is gonna be around probably longer than I will be. So, it is what it is. It's an entertainment company. It's the same as Walmart. Walmart treats its employees like crap. People still shop there, knowing what's going on in the background, and people will still shop there. So yeah, but not to say that other companies don't have their shit. AEW has their shit as well, and I'll get into their shit a little bit later. But speaking of AEW, there was a wrestling match between Thunder Rosa and Athena, who's formerly known as Ember Moon. They wrestled at Warrior Wrestling Show. I heard the match was great. I didn't check it out. I will check it out. The news from that match is apparently there was a fan that was shouting very disrespectful and racist stuff during the match, which Athena had reacted to. She wanted the fan thrown out. Apparently he wasn't thrown out. And then Thunder Rosa had gotten on the mic after the match and she said, I want to tell everybody that's been talking shit about what we do today here, have some respect for these women that are putting their lives in danger here. To the idiot that was saying bad stuff about us, you don't have no right to talk about us like that. We're just like one of the boys in the back. If you come to a show and you're being disrespectful to the athletes, you have no right to be here. Which I completely agree. I can see if the match isn't good at all and you want to say that it's boring and stuff like that, or if there's a heel talking out there and you want to boo someone, whatever. That you paid money for that. But to sit there and be disrespectful and shout racial or homophobic stuff, that really, you paid money to shout at someone who already got their paycheck from you paying money, which I don't really think about. That don't really make that much sense if you really think about it. I don't know. It's just stupid for people to decide to be disrespectful from the ringside just because. Like, you paid money, a lot of money at that. More money than, you should, to stand there and shout disrespectful stuff to the wrestlers. Also with AEW, so there was an announcement that they are going back to Long Island in May. And along with that announcement, there is a detail that includes the opening round of matches in the men's and women's Owen Hart tournament that will take place at the Long Island UBS Arena on May 11th, with the finals happening at Double or Nothing in May. And so I'm hoping that, okay, you want to use Owen Hart's name for this, you're working with Martha and everything. That's all good and well. You want to, you want to use Owen Hart's name and the foundation, stuff like that. Okay. I'm just hoping that they take this opportunity to play this out right. I'm hoping that, this isn't going to be like, we can clearly tell who's going to win the tournament type of situation. Or like there's like little planning to this. I really hope they plan this out well. Because if they don't, I'm going to be upset. It'll be a waste of using Owen Hart's name, for something that you guys don't plan out. Because AEW isn't really that good as far as like storylines and stuff like that. Like the way they do their booking very similar to UFC. So where this person fights this person and you have the rankings and stuff like that. And that works if your show is like once a month or something like that, where you can get away with that. But doing a week-to-week show, like, there has to be a continuous thread through each show. Like, doing the whole, this person goes this person, all right, we got this ranking, all right, this person's number one, so they're going to go against champion, stuff like that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Like, you got to have some type of storyline to weave as far as why are these two people fighting against each other over and over and over again. Otherwise, people are going to start getting tired of it. I'm hoping that this Owen Hart tournament will be geared towards the younger wrestlers on the roster, the originals. Like, we don't need Jon Moxley. We don't need Bryan Danielson. We don't need Christian on here. We definitely don't need the Young Bucks or Adam Cole on here. We need people like Dante Martin, Lee Moriarty, maybe Darby Allin, but just people to like really give them a chance. Like Jade Cargill don't need to be in this tournament. Thunder Rosa don't need to be in this tournament. I would say even Ruby Soho, maybe even Ruby Soho shouldn't be in this tournament. Like, this should be a tournament that really showcases like the underdogs, and give people a shot that normally wouldn't, because that's pretty much what with Owen Hart. I mean, he was the youngest out of the bunch. His whole thing was of trying to step out of Bret Hart's shadow, because he was always like Bret Hart's little brother and all this other stuff. And you gotta think about it. I mean, look at all the wrestlers that was in the family. The Hart Foundation with Jim Neidhart, even though he wasn't like, he was a Hart through marriage, but with Jim and Davey Boy Smith and Bret Hart and all that other stuff. And, Owen Hart was able to step out on his own and really made a name for himself. So I'm hoping that they use this tournament for that purpose, for people to really make a name for themselves. I would love to see, people who wouldn't be in the world title picture to go through this tournament. And I'm wondering what is what's the prize of winning this tournament? Is this going to be like a trophy? Is this playing out similar to what the Dusty Rhodes tournament was? You get the trophy, or if they're going to attach a title, championship to this, maybe to get a shot at the TNT title or a shot at the TBS title, for example. But I'm hoping that they really play their cards out well. I'm hoping that there's qualifying matches, since we have like about a little over almost 3 months to get this together. I'm hoping that there's qualifying matches. I'm hoping that, it's not going to be over in like very quickly. So I really hope that they play this out well. Show us that it's not just, all right, we're just going to have Jon Moxley win this tournament. And, since he was supposed to win the qualifier tournament, like, no, I really hope that they give opportunity to wrestlers who normally don't really get opportunities like that. Also, AEW, they signed someone, Nick Wayne, who I've never heard of. I heard he is really good. 16 years old. I think the promotion name is Defy. He was wrestling there. Darby Allin shows up and offered him a contract. And then afterwards, Swerve had showed up and wrestled him as well. And so the contract is very similar to Negative One's contract, where he is contracted with the company, and he has to graduate high school and turn 18 before it's an apprenticeship contract. So he'll be fully all elite when he turns 18. So more likely he'll be training and stuff like that. He'll probably maybe show up on TV, but he can't actually like wrestle on TV. So shout out to AEW for doing that. I mean, I heard that he is really good. He's really good at wrestling, and so to have the opportunity at 16 years old, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, a lot of wrestlers out there that would love to have that opportunity. I mean, he has the opportunity to, be trained and, interact with people like Sting and Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard and Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley, CM Punk, FTR, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Taz. There's a lot of people in AEW who can definitely mentor that kid. And he'll come, if he plays his card right, he'll come out there in 2 years, he has 2 years. So he'll come out there, able to cut promos, character work, especially, in the ring and stuff like that. I didn't really get a chance to check out his match. I only saw the video of him getting the contract. But I heard from, people commenting on it that he's really good in the ring. So, congrats to Nick Wayne. I can't wait to see what he can do in the ring once he turns 18. So before I get into my predictions for NXT and for Elimination Chamber, I'm going to start talking about the recap for AEW Dynamite this past week. Very interesting. Some things were pretty good. First of all, I was completely shocked that there were 2 women's matches on there, even though one match was literally like a minute. But I'll give them kudos that there is a second women's match on there. Hopefully that they will improve on it. And also Jade Cargill, ladies and gentlemen, my spirit animal. She is my spirit animal. Jade Cargill she is getting better by the minute. I said she was green. A lot of people said she was green. A lot of people questioned if she was ready to be the champion. And she has shown that she has definitely improved. And it came out and I believe I said this before, she has been training with Bryan Danielson, and you can really see that she has definitely improved in the ring. I like, and it's crazy that because and I'm gonna make the comparison, there are women in WWE who have been wrestling a lot longer than Jade Cargill, whose skill set is the same as she is right now. And Jade Cargill has only been wrestling since she's been wrestling with AEW, if I am correct. She hasn't been wrestling for that long, and you can see that she is getting better. She's learning. Her, with the matches being a little longer, it's getting better. Is it perfect? No. Is it a 5-star match? No. But I appreciate the fact that there is improvement. there is something there. Her match against AQA, after the match, a lot of people were asking, like, she needs to be signed. Kudos for her. I remember her slightly in NXT. Like, when I saw her face looked familiar, and so I did have to, like, literally look up the match that she was in, because she wasn't in NXT for very long. But my goodness, she came out looking amazing. I'm very glad that this really wasn't a squash match, just so she can show what she can do. She did a perfect shooting star press. She did a lot of things in this match that was pretty good. Jade Cargill was she's better with her selling. I believe it was Mark Henry. I forgot exactly who taught her. I don't know if it was Mark Henry or Paul White or someone else taught her how to sell as a big person, as a strong person, so that she's not like very similar to how Brock Lesnar sells. Like, Brock Lesnar doesn't fall all the way down. Like, it takes a lot for him to fall down. Like, when you knock into him, he'll fall backwards into the turnbuckle, or he'll like lose his balance, or he'll fall down to one knee type of situation. And that's kind of what they were doing with Jade Cargill. But she definitely has been impressing me. AQA has been trained by Booker T. That's how I remembered her, when they mentioned that she was trained by Booker T. The past Dynamite, it was fine. It was good. It was good. There was, of course, the promise of the Forbidden Door. I mean, the way that Tony Khan had worded it, it sounded like the new signing was coming through the Forbidden Door, and he realized he fucked up and then changed it, which he could have easily acted like, he could have easily swept it under the rug. But we had gotten... So I missed the first part of MJF's celebration of beating CM Punk in Chicago, so I missed that segment. I did see Wardlow going against the Blade. I am so ready to see face Wardlow. The way he's being booked is really good. My only thing sometimes with AEW tends to drag out some of these storylines a little bit too long. So I'm hoping that they won't continue this tease of Wardlow turning on MJF and turning face too long, that people, by the time it happens, like, people aren't excited for it anymore. But the way he's being booked as of right now, pretty good. There's the little tease of him turning face and him turning on MJF because he's starting to get tired of MJF shit and, telling him what to do and stuff. But him, I haven't seen a powerbomb be more over in a very long time. But yeah, Wardlow's power bombs are over, and I can't wait to see face Wardlow. Inner Circle had their team meeting. It's one of those meetings that could have been done in an email. Let's get it straight. The best thing that came from this, though, was Santana Ortiz. Santana's face looking into the camera. I have used that photo 3 times so far. Definitely one of my favorite memes to use right now. Setting up, of course, the breakup of the Inner Circle. Santana Ortiz will be going against Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. Sammy Guevara says, fuck y'all, I got Tay Conti. I don't need y'all shit. I'm out. And he said pretty much, if you guys can't figure this out and get together, then I'm gone. He has his title, he has his woman, and he was in Brazil, and he's all good. And so they decided to face each other. I don't remember if there's any stakes or anything like that involved with this. Chris Jericho telling Santana Ortiz, maybe I've chosen the wrong 2 members of LAX. I'm ready for Santana Ortiz. Look, I am a fan of Santana and Ortiz. I cannot wait for them to be on their own and go after the tag team titles. That's a tag team that definitely deserve titles, like before Jurassic Express, okay? Yes, I said it. Santana Ortiz should have got the tag team titles before Jurassic Express. Jurassic Express are are holding they're title holders right now. They're just keeping them titles warm until Santana and Ortiz come along and take them. I am ready for that. So I'm hoping that, yes, Chris Jericho did a good job as far as Sammy Guevara and stuff like that. Jake Hager is still Jake Hager. He's just there. But I'm ready for Santana Ortiz. Like, in my opinion, I don't think the Inner Circle really did a lot for Santana Ortiz. Like, it introduced them to, people who don't know them before. But that's pretty much what it did. Like, it really didn't elevate them to where as though, like, they got tag team gold. Okay? They had great matches, of course. You can't deny that. But I mean, as far as where they were, in part where they were between point A and point B, they're pretty much in the same point, except for they caught a couple of more wins under their belt. They don't have the tag team titles. They're not even former tag team champions. So I'm ready for Santana Ortiz to get their time to shine. And yeah, while I am not ready for Chris Jericho to be on commentary, I really am not ready for him to be on commentary. I mean, I am ready for Chris Jericho to, coach or something like that. I don't know. It's just, we have to, like Tony Khan says, there's a lot of people signed to AEW, and he has to make some hard decisions. I know there are a lot of people who are fans of Chris Jericho. If you don't like what I'm saying, then you don't like what I'm saying. But I think it's time for Chris Jericho to start coaching. Sorry. I know that Sting is holding it down at 62 years old, but Sting is Sting. Sting is completely different. I don't mind seeing Sting on TV because you can clearly see he is purposely taking a back seat to Darby Allin. And so during a commercial break, we had Adam Cole and the Young Bucks had attacked Trent Beretta and Rocky Marrero, and out comes now. Look, okay, I'm gonna admit something. Y'all gonna laugh at me, call me a dumbass, whatever. But I legit, when I saw Jay White, right? When I saw Jay White, it's the leather jacket, okay? It's the leather jacket. My mind has been trained. When I see a leather jacket, I'm not trained to think it was Jay White. So it was the way he walked in. I know he's smaller, but I can't even blame alcohol, okay? I can't even say I was tired or anything because this was early in the show. I can't say, whatever. I just had a moment. I saw Jay White walk in with the leather coat, and I know that he had the strikes or whatever on the back of his shirt, but in my mind, I saw H's, and I said, no fucking way. Yes, I thought that Jay White was Triple H for a moment, because all I saw was leather jacket, H's, and yeah, and not seeing, like, no, Jackie, that is the number, I think that it was the number 5. Yeah, I'm very sure that was the number 5, in hash marks. So, yeah, then I was like, oh, wait, no, he's too small to be Triple H. Oh, okay, that's Jay White. Okay, that was Jay White. And so, that's who walked, and they mentioned, no, he walked through the forbidden door. Can we talk about, and then, the Young Bucks was like, you could have told us he was coming. Him and Kenny Omega has issues and stuff like that. And Adam Cole's like, look, guys. Hey, look, it's okay. All my friends are here. I've been wrestling with one set of friends, and I realize why I have one set of friends when I can have all my set of friends. And so I feel like this is leading to Adam Cole on a pole match. Literally on a pole, hanging on a pole or something. And it's Britt Baker versus the Young Bucks versus Red Dragon versus the Bullet Club. And winner gets to have versus John Silver and Alex Reynolds. And the winner gets, Adam Cole permanently. So yeah, Adam Cole missed all his friends. Okay. If he could, he probably would have the party there. All right. But yeah, Adam Cole is just living his life, and now he has Jay White. So I'm just ready for Kenny Omega to come back so we can see like where the fuck are we going here, Adam Cole. And now Adam Cole, I'll talk about what Adam Cole also did later. He cut a promo the week before, and I'm like, okay, guys, are y'all fucking happy now? Y'all was complaining so much about fucking Adam Cole. Adam Cole done cut his Adam Cole promo, and so hopefully people will shut the hell up. Anyway, back to the Face of the Revolution qualifying match. We had Isaiah Cassidy of Private Party just standing there, and we're waiting for it. And so there was a little video that came out a few days ago with Killer Kross making a signing, and they mentioned how AEW was going to be in Atlantic City on February 9th. And you see Scarlett was like, oh, February 9th, is that when? And then you see Killer Kross keep saying, oh shit, oh shit. And then Twitter all of a sudden decides that they don't want Killer Kross to go to AEW. And I'm like, wait, y'all had a completely different energy when he was in WWE on Raw with the fucking demolition outfit. Y'all wanted him. Y'all was saying how, oh man, he's being treated so wrong. Where is Scarlett? Where's the entrance? What happened? Oh my goodness. And y'all started riot, you started a riot, the free Killer Kross shit and all that other stuff. And now, when he got let go, when he got released and he started putting out those videos, all of a sudden, oh shit, Killer Kross to AEW confirmed, and all this other stuff. And then when there's a tease of him coming to AEW, all of a sudden people is like, oh, he shouldn't be coming to AEW. I hope he doesn't come to AEW. If he comes to AEW, I'm going to stop watching. I'm like, what? Whoa. Did I miss something here? Did Doctor Strange cast a spell? Am I in a different universe? Because I could have sworn around 3 months ago, everyone was crying for this guy. And, oh man, I hope he goes to AEW and all this other stuff. People were predicting of him going to AEW, but, whatever. I didn't really, I wasn't mad if it was going to be him. I figured it wasn't going to be him because that was a very obvious tease if it was or something like that. But no, we had Isaiah Cassidy of Private Party waiting for his opponent, and his opponent, Kenneth Lee, okay? He's not Keith. That is Kenneth. Kenneth Lee. Keith Lee, Limitless, the Limitless one, all elite, all Limitless, Keith Lee comes out, and I popped. A lot of people popped. Everyone was happy about it, and I liked the music. A lot of people were complaining the fact that he wasn't rapping. Apparently that was his thing. I do like the Bask in the Glory, but I figured, that's just the placeholder music. We have seen AEW switch themes, a lot with some wrestlers. And so even, I forgot the guy's name who does the music in AEW. He even tweeted out, like, everybody calm down. I know Keith Lee does his own theme songs. He's like, what am I going to do? Call the guy during his honeymoon and tell him to come into the studio to do the song. So everybody calm down. It's coming. Keith Lee coming in, and good match, of course. First of all, I was even hyped for the fact that Keith Lee was showing the gut. Because we all know when Keith Lee is showing the gut, he's going to get it done. Okay, he is going to show the fuck off. Tony Schiavone was, in all of him. Hearing Jim Ross doing color commentary for Keith Lee was something else. Okay, but yeah, this was really good. Anyway, this was really good. And some people was like, oh, he's gassed and all this other stuff. And I, like, come on. He hasn't wrestled in how long? Of course, he also damn near died, I think it was a year ago, from complications from COVID. So I really didn't expect him to come out in all cylinders because people was like, oh, he gained weight, he seemed gassed, stuff like that. I'm like, well, a fucking course. You know, he wasn't really like wrestling weekly before he left anyway. He was at home trying to recover from complications from COVID, and then they brought him back probably for what, maybe 3 matches or something like that, and then he was gone again, and then he was released. So I was fine with the way he looked. It's not like he could have trained because he had to worry about wedding and honeymoon and stuff. So I thought he looked fine. As far as the match, I thought the match was good. Shout out to Isaiah Cassidy for selling like a star. I love Isaiah Cassidy. I love Private Party, and I'm hoping that they also leave from Matt Hardy and get on their own, so that they can also go after the titles too. That's another tag team that should have gotten the titles before Jurassic Express. But anyway, I digress. But this was a good moment, and a good debut as well. Then we had CM Punk and a mystery partner going against FTR. People were sitting there. What were they predicting? Danhausen. They were predicting. I forgot. Oh, Samoa Joe as well, and it was Jon Moxley, which I didn't have that on my bingo card of, seeing CM Punk and Jon Moxley team up together to go against FTR, but here we are. And it was a pretty good tag team match. Now, I'm keeping the same energy as I would with WWE. I'm not a fan of a tag team being thrown together that is somehow better than a tag team that's been together for years. Now I can see, like, individually, if you go 1 versus 1, yeah, I could see CM Punk winning. Yeah, I could see Jon Moxley winning. But tag team versus tag team, I felt as though FTR should have won. But whatever, whatever. Like, it's CM Punk and Jon Moxley. They have to get the win to start to get the momentum back again. Jon Moxley just there to just fuck shit up. But yeah, I was fine with this match. This was a pretty good match. We had Serena Deebs, who decided to do her 5-minute rookie challenge. And she went against, I don't even know. She went against someone, and it was like a minute. I'm hoping we get something more out of this. If we're going to do 5 minutes, let's make it a 5-minute match, instead of 1 minute. I would like to see whoever she goes against get some offense in as well. And then we get to the main event, which was the Texas Death Match, which I'm confused why it's a Texas Death Match, seeing as though we were in Atlantic City, New Jersey, which is, I don't know, miles away from Texas. But, nevertheless, it was a Texas Death Match. This was a fine match. Once again, we're getting a hardcore match where there is blood. Seems like AEW must have in their contract that they must produce blood or something. Like, I don't know if they need blood to help out the Jacksonville Jaguars get a winning season or something like that. But there's a lot of blood that's been lost in AEW. Like, they could probably donate it to the Red Cross and save a lot of lives. As much blood has been spilled in AEW. I'm fine with it when it makes sense. When, like I said, when it makes sense for the match and stuff like that. Like, don't cut yourself open just for the fucking dramatic effect, because then it's to the point that bleeding in AEW is about to be as common as someone doing a DDT. Okay, we all remember that there were times where DDT was a finisher. Looking at you, Jake the Snake. But now DDT is about as regular as, a regular move. It's like I can't even say leg drop because that was Hulk Hogan. But yeah, as similar as a headlock, I should say. And now, it's just blood. And it was a lot of blood, first of all, for Hangman Page. I mean, goodness gracious. Like, it looked like it was blood in his eye and stuff like that. Like, he looked like the bunny at a certain point. Page goes to win the match. First of all, a very unique finish. The top rope was taken down, so Hangman Page couldn't do his finisher. And there was the spot where Lance Archer was on the apron, and there were tables behind him, and Hangman Page used the referee to do the buckshot lariat, which I thought was fucking impressive. And it's won by countout. After the match, then you see Adam Cole make his way to the ring, grab the AEW title, and then puts it on Hangman Page's shoulder. So yeah, Adam said hi to Adam, basically. And so I'm sitting here like, okay, everybody, is everybody fucking happy? Adam Cole is teasing that he's going after the title. All right. And so now, since y'all want to run y'all fucking mouth and cry about Adam Cole and this, that, and the third, now look where we at now. We got Adam versus Adam. We got Hangman Page versus Adam Cole. Now, if Adam Cole wins, now all that shit that we have went through for Hangman Page's title chase will pretty much go down the drain with Adam Cole. And Hangman Page will have the shortest title reign in AEW history. Because normally their titles are held for 6 months to a year. Between Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley, and Kenny Omega, they have held their titles for 6 months or longer. And right now, Adam Hangman Page is at what? Month 3? 6 months would be at Double or Nothing. So if he was to lose his title at Double or Nothing, that would make it 6 months. Are they doing a good job as far as his title reign? No. Out of the 4 champions AEW has had so far, Hangman Page has been booked the worst. There was a lot given to the other 3 champions. I mean, Chris Jericho was the easiest to book because there wasn't a weekly show for him. It was just mainly, he just showed up at the pay-per-view events. Jon Moxley, kind of similar with Jon Moxley, actually. Jon Moxley, they were still kind of, well, no, not really. They actually started, yeah, I forgot when Jon Moxley won the title. I think he was definitely champion when they started to do Dynamite. And then with the best one who's been booked the best was Kenny Omega. I mean, he took his title everywhere. He was facing different people, and of course it was his long feud with Adam Hangman Page. Only thing with Hangman is that they don't really have a heel to really consistently book with him. Now they can do it with they had it perfectly with Bryan Danielson, but I felt as though they kind of like pulled the trigger very quickly with him. It was pretty fun though, but I'm hoping that they will give Hangman another heel to work with. Maybe Cole, but I don't know how they're going to be able to successfully drag it out. I mean, they can drag it out. We've seen them drag out matches and storylines, but how to drag it out to where as though you don't have Adam Cole or Hangman Page losing consistently. But yeah, I hope everyone is happy. We got Cole versus Page now. It looks like it's going to be at Revolution, but Revolution is in a few weeks. And so if Hangman Page loses, then it'll be the shortest title reign, and it'll be 2 years of, like I said, it'll be 2 years of booking down the drain. I would be fine if he had that title for at least 6 months, but at least book him as a good defending champion. Him losing to Adam Cole at Revolution, it will make his title reign feel like he was a placeholder. He was a transition champion type of situation. And if Adam Cole loses, I'm hoping that maybe it triggers a storyline between these two that, they will sit there and kind of go back and forth with each other. And maybe this will all come together at Double or Nothing. And then at that point, we will have the return of Kenny Omega, and we will start the true storyline between him and Adam Cole. It could be that if Adam Cole was to win at Revolution, maybe that will trigger the return of Kenny Omega, and then we will have the Elite versus Undisputed Era or Bullet Club or whatever it is that Adam Cole will be calling his group. Rampage was okay. I mean, the only thing with Rampage is just the appearance of Hook and having the crowd, go completely berserk for him. We also had the tag team titles defended as well. Britt Baker had a match against Robin Renegade, which was pretty good as well. So I am very excited that we're slowly getting some matches, women's matches, where the matches are, good and competitive. Of course, I expect Britt Baker to lose or anything like that. But this was still good that, it wasn't booked as a squash. That Robin had some offense going into this as well. I don't know. My thing with Rampage, I feel like it is at such a really bad time. Being at 10 o'clock, there are a few times I'll watch SmackDown and I'll completely forget that Rampage is coming on. Like, I wish they can put it on at a different night. I get with it being only 1 hour, they decide to tag it with SmackDown, but that's a little difficult. Like, a part of me wish it was on Saturday night. The time that they decided to put it on Saturday night, that was like really perfect. Like, if you do Saturday at 8 o'clock, you can make that bad boy 2 hours and you can just rip it up. Like, they can't do Mondays. I mean, they'll be completely trolling if they do it on Tuesdays. I mean, they can't go Wednesdays because that's their day. Thursdays, that's not going to be ideal, because especially if they decide to have a live Rampage, that's your crew, kind of traveling back to back. Well, not really. I mean, it's very rare that people who are on Dynamite would be at Rampage as well. But you can always, book segments early on or something. Or you can just have, whenever Rampage isn't live, have it at a city that, well, no, they don't even have that. They don't even have that luxury because they're only hitting certain markets. But, if they decide to have, for example, Dynamite in Philly, they could have Rampage in Atlantic City type of situation. Whereas though it's not crazy far, where the talent won't have to take a second flight and fly all over the place. But I just wish that Rampage was I wish Rampage was 2 hours and it was on a different night. It can't be 2 hours on Friday. That 5 hours of wrestling, I'll stop watching Rampage. Like, I will get Cliff Notes. I will get Cliff Notes. So let me get into my predictions of NXT Vengeance Day. So I wasn't able to check out the past NXT, so I don't really know the final details leading into Vengeance this Tuesday. But starting off, the Dusty Classic Finals, MSK versus the Creed Brothers. Look, I'm sure the Creed Brothers are impressive in the ring, but as far as their gear and like their gimmick, that bad boy is as dry as turkey, like bland. Okay, they're almost Von Wagner. At least Von Wagner turned heel, even though that's still a bit awkward. But yeah, that's a team that definitely needed the mouthpiece of Malcolm Bivens. But I just wish that they had, just give me some oomph to it. I'm going to go with MSK with this one, even though I don't think MSK is going to win. But I'm officially going to say MSK is going to win this one. that would make them back-to-back winners, and that will probably, start off from there. But I don't know. I really don't see the Creed brothers winning. If the Creed brothers win, it will be either due to like interference or something. But if they win cleanly, oh my gosh, I can't. All right. I can't. I cannot. After that, we have Pete Dunne and Tony D'Angelo in a weaponized steel cage match. So I'm hearing weaponized steel cage match, and I immediately go back to the steel cage match, that whatever that was with Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho. Yeah, I think it was against Chris Jericho with the potted plant and the mop. I hope that they learn from their mistakes and that this weaponized steel cage match will be a lot different. I'm sure there's going to be a crowbar there. I'm sure there's going to be some brass knuckles or something like that for Pete Dunne on there. For this one, I'm going to go with Pete Dunne. I don't know. I have a feeling it could be Tony D'Angelo. Like the thing with NXT 2.0, like they really showed like the black and gold NXT is no more. And this could if it's, the way it may go, like it could definitely be all 2.0 people winning here. Like I can see this going either way, with Pete Dunne and Tony D'Angelo, but I feel like it should go to Pete Dunne to kind of finish out this story, especially since we are at the premium live. No, it's not even a premium live event. Sorry, the NXT special, I guess I should say, special event that we're gonna end it here, because the next takeover will be Mania. I believe they are having a takeover for Mania, so I really don't see this playing out between these two until then. I feel like the storyline between Pete Dunne and Tony D'Angelo is going to end here, so I got Pete Dunne winning this one. After that, for the NXT Women's Tag Team titles, I have Indi Hartwell and Persia Pirotta going against Toxic Attraction. I'm going to go with Toxic Attraction to retain here. Like I said, I really don't see Indi Hartwell and Persia winning here. I feel like Persia may turn on Indi Hartwell because the story that they're kind of showing here between them two, Indi Hartwell, is constantly talking about Dexter Lumis, who we really haven't been seeing that lately. And we have Persia, who's like really coming into her own, and she's like, it feels like she's carrying the tag team. And so I feel like this is going to cause friction between these two, and Toxic Attraction is going to take full advantage of it. After that, we have for the North American Championship, we have Cameron Grimes versus Carmelo Hayes. I have Carmelo Hayes retaining. I feel like Trick Williams is going to interfere in this and help Carmelo Hayes retain the title. I really do not see Cameron Grimes winning this. If Cameron Grimes is to win this, I will be completely shocked. I like Carmelo Hayes, and I feel like he should definitely retain the North American Championship. Like this is the one 2.0, one of the few 2.0 guys that I'm like really behind. And so I'm hoping that he retains his title for this. I feel like this is going to be a good match between these two. But I don't see Carmelo Hayes losing his title anytime soon. After that, for the NXT Championship, we have Bron Breakker, Baby Steiner, going against Santos Escobar. I'm fully going with Bron Breakker on here. I know Legado del Fantasma is going to try to interfere. We're going to have Tommaso Ciampa probably watching the back of Bron Breakker. And then I don't know, I feel like Dolph Ziggler may try to interfere in this because, WWE suddenly realized like, hey, we can send WWE wrestlers down to NXT, which I felt as though they could have done this with the Black and Gold NXT. And yes, I am still very bitter about that, and I will be bitter about it until further notice. But I feel like they're going to have people interfere in this. In the end, I think Bron Breakker is going to retain this title. I really like Legado del Fantasma, but I really feel like they're not going to have much more for them to do, because it's like, after he loses this title shot, where does he go from here? I mean, he could you set up a feud against Tommaso Ciampa. You can have, Dolph Ziggler run down, and then maybe someone else from the main roster run down, and, Santos Escobar go against whoever that is. But I feel like Bron Breakker is going to win this here. So I kind of have all titles being retained here. I will be shocked if there is a title exchange. It could happen with the North American Championship, and then Carmelo Hayes probably win it back at the Takeover show, or probably during a random NXT live show. But I really don't see any of the titles going anywhere. So I am actually recording this. Something told me to watch Raw before I did my predictions, because I had a feeling, the hold to be announced for the women's Elimination Chamber match, I had a feeling that was going to be revealed tonight, seeing as though SmackDown is pre-recorded. And yes, I did hear one spoiler with that, and I will rant and rage on the next episode about that. But yeah, I found out finally who is the last person in there. I had a feeling that it wasn't going to be a surprise. I had a feeling it was going to announce it beforehand, because they did announce pretty much all the surprises in the women's Royal Rumble match before it happened. So I kind of figured they was going to announce who the last person was going to be for the women's Elimination Chamber match. And so now that we have that information, I will be getting into my predictions for the Elimination Chamber over in Saudi Arabia. So starting off, we have Rey Mysterio going against The Miz. Like I said, The Miz is really one of those people who could take a loss and just keep it moving. Him losing a lot really doesn't really affect him as a character, because he knows how to talk on the mic. He knows to talk a lot of trash on the mic. And, you're not really expecting for him to really win. It's really weird. He's one of those wrestlers who can really take losses very well, and it doesn't really affect his character. He still puts on entertaining feuds and stuff like that. We saw his feud between him, Edge, and Beth Phoenix. We see, he knows how to talk mad shit. I don't think Dominic knows that he is not Rey Mysterio's son. There is the WWE Network out there, so he can look it up himself. But The Miz sitting there telling Dominic, "Are you sure you are Rey's kid, or you sure are like Eddie or something like that?" But with this, I don't know. I feel like they can definitely start the WrestleMania match that could be happening. I feel like they may be saving it for WrestleMania, and that's Dominic turning on Rey Mysterio and have the Mysterio versus Mysterio. I can't see Dominic turning heel. I really can't. But I feel like he's going to be the one that's going to turn heel on his dad. And so I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with The Miz on this one. I feel like it's very possible that Rey Mysterio wins this one, because WWE 2K22 is coming out soon. I forgot when it's coming out. But Rey Mysterio can definitely win here, but I'm just going to switch it up and go with The Miz. I feel like something's going to happen with this match. Sometimes they do a lot of feel-good type of matches with over in Saudi. They tend to go with a lot more faces winning than heels. But I'm going to go with The Miz on this one. I feel like Maurice is going to get involved and cause the win there. Next up, the tag team match. Ronda Rousey and Naomi going against Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey and Naomi on this one. This is clear for Ronda Rousey to win, to get the momentum going into WrestleMania. It is shown here that they have 3 women's matches, which is I applaud that. But yeah, I feel like I don't know. Like I said, it's women's match. I don't know how long these matches are going to be. I really don't. This match may be given time and whatnot, but I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey here and Naomi to win. After that, we have the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE, to be the contender for the WWE Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. So we have Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, who will be entering last, Doudrop, Nikki A.S.H, and the newest person to be added, Alexa Bliss. And so I don't know if this is Harley Quinn Alexa Bliss, as we saw on these therapy segments that they had to do. It looks like she is slowly going back to the original Alexa Bliss. So I don't know. Like, I'm glad that I'm glad that I waited to see who was entering, because that was really going to determine who I was going to pick. Like, I thought this was going to be Bayley coming in or Sasha Banks, but my third guess would have been Alexa Bliss, seeing as though she was in these therapy sessions. You know what's the crazy thing here? And I know I'm putting this in the universe, but I don't know, I just have a bad feeling about this. My pick will be Bianca Belair, because that's who I really want to win, and I really want it to be Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. But WWE has this weird thing, and we saw it with Kofi Kingston. We have saw it with Big E very recently, and I don't know if they're going to do it with Bianca Belair. I really hope they don't do it with Bianca Belair, because they could easily put her versus Sasha Banks if Sasha Banks is well enough at WrestleMania, or her versus Bayley at WrestleMania. But I have a really bad feeling that she's going to lose this match, and I have a feeling that it'll be like Alexa Bliss that wins. I know I just put that out there, but I have that feeling that it'll be Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, and they'll decide to do Bianca Belair versus a returning Bayley or versus a returning Sasha, which I'm not mad at, but I feel like Bianca Belair, like the way she lost, the way she lost, and then she kept on losing against Becky Lynch, it just would be very cool for her to get that, one up on Becky, especially the fact that Becky said, they said it tonight at Raw. Lita mentioned how Becky 500-day title reign, and I said, fucking excuse me. I know Becky gave up her title, but there's two people that held that damn title. Actually, no, there was more than two people. There was Asuka, who won it off of her first, and you also had Bianca Belair, and you had Sasha Banks. I feel like there was someone else in between that as well. I forgot. I think there's somebody who I think there was a person in between Asuka. No, the Asuka was Raw. Yeah, Asuka was Raw Tag Team Championship. I'm confusing the brand split confused me, because Becky had the Raw title. Bianca went after the SmackDown title. Okay. Alright. Whatever. It's people who held, my point is, it's people who held that damn title since she gave it up. So them combining the title reigns as if, like, I get you saying she haven't lost it, but there are people who gave up the title and then they want it back. But you don't see them combining the days. Like, they're saying Becky has a 500-day title reign, and I'm like, first of all, that's very disrespectful to the people who held the title while she was gone. I know she got pregnant and left, but it's still people who busted their asses while she was out and held up that women's division while she was out. And with them saying that she has this 500-day title reign, it's really like ignoring what the hell was going on with people. But I'm gonna go with Bianca Belair on this one. But I feel like they're gonna have Alexa Bliss win this. And if she wins it, I'm not like, I know people will be upset because they're really looking forward to Bianca Belair to get that title shot at WrestleMania and have her WrestleMania moment again. But I feel like it's not happening. I really feel like it's not happening. After that, we have Drew McIntyre versus Madcat Moss with Happy Corbin. I mean, do we really have to get into this? This is a Falls Count Anywhere match. I feel like they're just going to go up the ramp. They're not going to go through the crowd. They're going to go around the ringside. I don't think they're going to go backstage or anything. Like, I feel like they're going to stick to the ramp in the stage area. But do we really need to get into detail as to who's going to win this? Like, really, you're going to tell me the guy with the short shorts, like, his shorts are shorter than my shorts in the summer. His shorts are shorter than a lot of women's in the summer. And with the suspenders and the grandpop socks with the shoes and stuff, y'all really think he has a chance going against Drew McIntyre? Come on now, come on. This match is all about how long is this match going to be? How long is this match going to be? Like, I feel like this match is going to be placed after a chamber match just to kind of like calm things the fuck down. I really don't see this match really going. I really don't. You know, nothing against, you know, the wrestler behind Madcat Moss. Like, I know you busting your ass and stuff, but come on, dog. You should even know, like, man, it ain't happening. It is not happening. Like, Drew McIntyre is going to win. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take for him to win. And how many times he's going to point the sword at someone. So after that, for the tag team championship, we have the Usos versus the Viking Raiders. This is another one. Like, come on. I like the Viking Raiders. I loved them when they were in NXT. They haven't really been the same since they've been on the main roster. But come on. Come on. Do we really expect them to win the tag team titles off the Usos, who have been on like a straight up title reign of fire? Okay. Do we really expect them to lose the titles right now? And for the Viking Raiders to win? Do we really expect that? No, we don't. We're going to go with the Usos in that one. Next up, the WWE Universal Championship match. We have Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman, the Tribal Chief, going against Goldberg. Now, this is Goldberg's last match on the contract. However, you know, this is Saudi, yo. Fucking Goldberg, he loves to wrestle in Saudi, and he likes to win sometimes in Saudi Arabia. And I have I know people are like, come on, y'all, you really, Jaydee, you really expect them to take the title off of Roman Reigns before WrestleMania? Yeah. If they're fucking crazy enough to take the title off of Roman Reigns and put it on Goldberg before WrestleMania, just to kind of force Goldberg to fucking re-sign a contract. I mean, they could easily have Brock win the other title and we still get Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar type of situation, you know. But, however, I know there's some Roman Reigns fans out there that are hyperventilating with what I just said, but however, I feel like Roman Reigns is going to win this one. Like I said, Roman, all you got to do is run around the ring a few times and Goldberg will be gassed out. I mean, this is the match you're supposed to get at WrestleMania, what's that? WrestleMania 36? It was supposed to be Spear versus Spear, and we didn't get it. No, that wasn't 36. That was 30. No, that was 36. That was 36. We're supposed to get Spear versus Spear, and we didn't get it because of the pandemic, and so now we're getting it this many years later. And so, yeah, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns to win on this one. I really don't see Goldberg winning this. If Goldberg wins this, like, why? That's all I'm going to say. Why? But I'm going to go officially with Roman Reigns here. Like, crazy thing is for Brock Lesnar to somehow interfere in this and cost Roman Reigns the title. But the fact that this is Goldberg's final match and they were saying this is Roman Reigns versus Goldberg one last time. I don't know. Maybe I missed something here, but I think this is the first time Roman Reigns was going against Goldberg. Like, I think it's the first time they went against each other. So I don't know why we're saying one last time when this is the first time. You know what I mean? But I'm going to go with Roman Reigns on this one. For the WWE Raw Women's Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Lita. You really, y'all just shouted out how long Becky Lynch has been champion for. You really expect me to think that Lita is going to take the title off of her? I know that they signed Lita for I think a year or something like that, or a couple of months. I don't know. This is definitely not a one match type of situation. But you really expect me to believe that Lita is going to win the championship here. But like I said, this is Saudi. They've done crazy things before, so I really shouldn't be sitting here like with a full expectation of no titles exchanging hands. That's because that's kind of how I have it for right now. Well, so far, I don't have any of the titles exchanging hands. I'm going to go with Becky Lynch to win this one. I'm interested to see how this match goes. It's very different from with Lita of, wrestling in the Royal Rumble for the second time. Because for some reason, they kind of forgot that she was in a Royal Rumble before, versus a match here. So I'm interested to see how long this match will be for. And like how good will these two be in the ring? I think this will be a good match. I do. But I don't see Lita winning. I feel like Becky Lynch is going to win by doing the holding on to the rope type of situation. At least that's how she should win it. By holding on to the rope while she's pinning Lita and win that way, so that Lita can have a say so if she decides to go after Becky Lynch again. So now, for the final match, originally, Kevin Owens was in this, but of course he was taken out because he doesn't wrestle over in Saudi. But we have Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory versus Riddle versus AJ Styles. Listen, I would love for Bobby Lashley to retain this. But I have a feeling it's going to Brock Lesnar. Which I really hope it doesn't, because then it's going to create the title versus title crap. And I don't want that to happen, because they do not need to unify the titles. Like, I'm hoping that, Roman Reigns interfere in this, and then somehow Bobby Lashley retains. And then we have to, go on with creating a number one contender for his title. And listen, okay, listen. I would love for that WrestleMania match be Bobby Lashley versus AJ Styles. I know there's rumors out there of AJ Styles going against Edge or whatever. But no, it's time. It's time for AJ Styles to win WWE Championship and, become the face that runs the place once again. I love Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley needs to bring back the Hurt Business and then come holler at us as champion. Like, I need the Hurt Business to become like the Undisputed Era and have all the gold. That's what we need. We need to do a reset here. They had Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander come out in a handicap match against Omos, and they lost. I need the Hurt, and they came out with, the Hurt Business name on the Titantron and all that stuff. And I'm like, they need to come back together. Like, that was such a great group. They was rocking the suits and stuff like that. I loved it. And I wish it came back. I'm officially going to go with Bobby Lashley here. And I know, yes, I do not have any titles exchanging hands. Which is very rare for something like this. I know. But they could easily have Roman Reigns lose his match and have Brock Lesnar win his match, and then, it'll be like a switch of the titles type of situation, where if Roman Reigns was to win the WWE Championship, they'll bring it over to Raw, and they'll bring the WWE Universal Championship. He'll bring the WWE Championship to SmackDown, and then the Universal Championship will go over to Raw. They could easily do something like that, because they're due for a draft or something, right? Or I don't know. Don't they do the draft sometime after WrestleMania? I'm confused. But I'm officially going with Bobby Lashley, even though I have this sneaky feeling that Brock Lesnar is going to win here, but I'm hoping that he loses here, so that the match between him and Roman Reigns will just be like for one title instead of two. We don't need the tribal chief 2 belts, and I don't need Lesnar 2 belts. I don't need Brock 2 belts. Sorry. But yeah, as far as how I think the show will be, I think the show will be good. I mean, the last show that they had over there was pretty good, so I wouldn't be surprised if this was good. I feel like there are a few matches that's going to be like, we'll see Ronda Rousey in action again. Like I said, same with Lita. It's very different of wrestling during the Royal Rumble versus wrestling in an actual match. I feel like Naomi may be carrying the team for most of that match, to kind of get Ronda back into the groove of things, being in front of the crowd. I mean, this crowd's going to cheer for her. I mean, this crowd's going to cheer for Goldberg. Whereas though people will boo the hell out of him over in our world, but everything will be cheered, okay? Everyone will be cheered. But I think this will be a good match anyway. So that's it for the WrestleBread podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Let me give some shout outs. Shout out to Julian Rob Bass from Wrestling Court Podcast and TurnOfMinds.com. Keita and Jay from the Keita and Jay Show. Chris from We Talk Next Podcast, which is featured on the Keita and Jay Show. Dando and Larry from Half K Podcast. Devin Hafiz from Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. Also, shout out to Straight Talk Wrestling Podcast, Circle Debate Podcast, and Talk Rope Wrestling Podcast as well. Coming up next week, you see the episodes are coming out a little on a different day. I decided to try to put them out on Mondays and see how that goes and kind of do like a week recap about it. So next episode will be the review of the Elimination Chamber, review of Vengeance Day, and also review of AEW Dynamite and Rampage, and any other rumors or anything that comes from the wrestling world as well. Be sure to hop on Twitter and follow me at JDC137. That's JAYDEE, the letter C137. I know I sound like Jeff Jarrett when I do that. You can also follow the podcast at WrestleBread as well. You'll find the links in the profile for the Instagram, the Facebook, the YouTube, and the TikTok. Be sure to leave a review. Let me know your thoughts, how you feel about the Elimination Chamber, how you feel about Vengeance Day. They could definitely have put up a different match between now and then, and if they do, I will tweet out what my prediction would be. And until next time, guys, peace.